Hello everyone, welcome to Disha. We are powered by Sharat Chandra IAS Academy. This is a program where we educate the young minds of our country regarding current affairs as well as important topics going on. Today we'll be talking about euthanasia. Is it permitted by law in India? We'll see why is it in news. What is euthanasia? What is the situation about this in India and what are the important cases that we must know about? Okay, let's start with why in news. So, the Delhi High Court has declined to refer to a medical board the case of a person who is 30 years old who suffered head injuries in 2013, that means over 11 years now, and is lying in a vegetative state. Vegetative state means like a plant who cannot move to undergo passive euthanasia. That means there has to be two types of euthanasia, a passive as well as an active one. So this person is demanding passive sort of euthanasia. Alright, but the court is saying that it is not passive, it is active. So the court noted that man is not being kept alive mechanically, that means with the help of any sort of machines or medical equipments, and is able to sustain himself without external aid. Alright, so this described situation is known as quadriplegia. That means our brain is the control center. Our brain is the control center. And then there is spine or spinal cord. So there are many nerves which go from the spinal cord. It's like an electric circuit. Okay, let's say brain is here, and then there is spinal cord from which many spinal nerves originate. Okay, and go through the whole body so that it can control. Now, if you break this from here, break this circuit from here because of any injury, so what happens? The brain remains alive, but the connection to the body breaks. Okay, the connection to the body breaks. So any functional system is not movable. Okay, paralysis of the body from the neck down. So this is very bad situation. A person becomes disabled, and now let's say he is asking for death. Literally, he is asking for that let me die. Okay, but SC is not allowing. What SC is saying that there is no medical device. There is no medical device giving life to him. Okay, he is alive on himself. Now, if somebody gives him death, then it is essentially killing him. So, killing a person is not allowed. All right. So, what is euthanasia? So, euthanasia is the practice of ending the life, or basically killing someone. You can say of a patient to limit the patient's suffering. Okay, this now is in good cause. So, sometimes death is also better than suffering. Suffering is sometimes worse than death. Okay, so this gives us the concept of euthanasia. That at least in the death I may find peace. So the patient in question would typically be terminally ill. That means he is never going to be alive actually or get well or experiencing great pain and suffering. So euthanasia itself come from the Greek word eu and thanatos. Thanatos. Okay, death. So you may have heard the villain Thanos. So Thanatos means death. So Thanos also comes from their death. Okay, so the idea is that instead of condemning someone to slow, painful death, euthanasia would allow the patient to experience a relatively good death. So there are two types of euthanasia. One is active and one is passive. So active is basically what? By active means, that means someone is alive, okay, but they are still suffering and all. So kill them by a lethal dose of a drug. And this is passive euthanasia. That means remove the apparatus that is keeping them alive. Okay, let's talk about India now. What is the situation in India? So, as per the court, the petitioner is not on any life support system. So, passive euthanasia in India is allowed. Passive is allowed. Okay, but active is not allowed. Active is not allowed. Okay, just a second. So, what is the court saying? That the patient is alive on his own and we cannot kill him. So, including no one, actually, no one, including a physician or doctor, is permitted to cause the death of another person by administering any lethal drug, even if the objective is to relieve the patient from pain and suffering. Okay, that means even a doctor or anybody, okay, cannot kill him or actively euthanize him. So Article 21 of Indian Constitution states, no person shall be deprived of his life or personal liberty except according to procedure established by law. Okay, so here law is not establishing the procedure. That means his life cannot be taken, and it's a fundamental right. Second thing, the right to life under Article 21 is a fundamental right that includes the right to live with dignity. However, the interpretation of this right does not explicitly extend the right to die. Okay, you have the right to live, the right to life, but not have the right to death. Okay, only in very, let's say, special circumstances, court may allow, may not allow. Okay, we cannot speculate yet. Okay, let's see two important cases. This was the formative case of euthanasia in India, Aruna Schonbach case. So she was a nurse, very young nurse when this happened. She was assaulted by somebody, and there was a chain, okay, wrapped around her neck to in order to strangulize her. Okay, because of that, what happened? She suffered some spinal cord injury and became quadriplegic and remained in vegetative state for over 37 years. Okay, following a brutal assault. So petition, I'll tell you the gist of the case. The case of Daruna Schonbach versus Union of India was a landmark case, a decision by the Supreme Court of India that addressed the issue of passive euthanasia. Again and again, we are talking about the passive, okay, not active. So she was a nurse in Mumbai and was persistent vegetative state for over 37 years when this was decided. The petition filed on her behalf sought permission for passive euthanasia. In this judgment, Supreme Court recognized the legality of passive euthanasia under strict conditions, stating that life support could be withdrawn for patient in a permanent vegetative state under supervision and guidelines set by the judiciary. The court, however, did not grant permission for Aruna Schonbach's euthanasia, citing the specific circumstances on her care. Okay, next one, let's see the Common Cause versus Union of India. In this case, also, India further developed the legal framework for passive euthanasia. Again and again, we are saying India only is allowing passive euthanasia, not active. Okay, so judgment recognized the right to die with dignity as part of right to life under Article 21 of the Constitution. So the court allowed passive euthanasia and endorsed the concept of living wills, enabling individuals to state their preferences for end of life medical care in advance. Okay, so two things earlier we saw that in Article 21 there was no right to die, but in 2018 Common Cause versus Union of India, the court recognized the right to die. The court recognized the right to die with dignity as a part of the right to life under Article 21. Okay, so after 2018 this was established. Originally it was not there. Okay, so these are the type of things that tell us that constitution is dynamic and alive. So this was landmark decision provided detailed guidelines for the procedure to be followed, ensuring that passive euthanasia could be conducted legally and ethically, thereby balancing the sanctity of life with dignity of dying. Okay, so this was today's lecture. I hope you liked it. Have a great day. See you soon.